Is that mine right now?
You got mail.
That was mine right now?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's like a real old man. That's like a true old man ringtone. You've got mail.
Yeah.
Better check your mail.
No. I'm just gonna cut the volume down.
I ain't doing no tripping.
Well, nephew. What was that shit?
Hey, that was an old man ringtone, dog. That was.
I got a whole phone.
My man's got a Samsung 6.
If that.
He got a Samsung Galaxy S6.
I still got mine connected to freaking dial-up.
And that was funny, man, because I was gonna cut it out. Man, when it happened, it went perfect.
It went perfect, dude. We're just test run.
Yeah. I was like, let's just test run the mics real quick. I said, nah, let's keep that. That was hilarious.
Dude, I can't believe it worked out for us, man, right then and there. Dude, that was awesome.
That was cool. That was funny.
Man, that was hilarious.
So here we are, man.
First one.
Well, let's do this right. Let's do this right.
All right. We got you.
What's going on, everybody? It's King J, or Javi, as people in my local town know me.
Exactly. And I'm JR.
It's JR.
I'm Unk at the same time.
And I'm Nephew. And welcome to our brand new podcast. It's Late Night Conversations with Unk Nephew.
Yes, sir. Unk Nephew.
Man, and we finally made it.
Dude.
After all the... Man, dude, we've been talking... Well, technically, we've been talking about doing... I've actually been wanting to do a podcast for probably 5 years now.
Right,
bro.
right.
I guess I never set it as a priority, but at the same time, because I was so focused on my music.
Right.
You know, for those who know me, you know, I do music. I make rap music.
And you got plenty of good music out there that people have heard.
Yeah, exactly.
You got your website. Your YouTube channel that I'm pretty sure is doing good. I go to it every now and then. So
yeah, man. I got some followers.
Don't forget about your music, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it's been good. I was real focused on the music, and then after the pandemic hit,
right.
Being laid off from that one job, when that social distancing stuff happened.
Yeah, it happened. You can't. All you had was music.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That and with the job, there wasn't because of the how you couldn't be around a lot of people.
Right.
Well, they had to let go of a lot of the plant. Because there was too many workers in the same facility. So,
right.
And then after that, the music took a back burner. And then, of course, I got my current job.
Right.
And, I had told my wife, hey, man, I'm kind of getting up in age. I mean, I'm not old.
Right.
I'm not old.
Yeah, you're 30 years younger than me, brother.
I mean, and I guess, you're only as old as you feel.
I feel young.
And you feel young. You know what I'm saying? And say, I ain't saying you're old, but you're older than me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Especially with that ringtone.
Oh, that ringtone.
Or that email.
You've got mail.
Yeah, that's something else,
some
man.
of these younger gens, they don't even know what that sound is. They're like, what?
To me, it's not embarrassing. To
no,
you,
it ain't.
I'm not saying it's embarrassing to you, but you're like, that's old.
Yeah, I don't think it's embarrassing. I just think it just was funny. But no, anyways, back to I was in a stage of, man, should I keep doing music or should I focus on trying to make a career out of Walmart?
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Being at that time, I was like, you know what? Let me focus on trying to get maybe a manager spot or something.
Right.
Man, the music wouldn't leave me.
Well, of course.
My heart,
you've been doing this since you were young.
Yeah.
So, and you're good at it, and you've had a start. So it's never going to leave you,
Yeah.
And music's been part of our family for
a long time. Yeah, we love music.
All
of us. If you get around our family, whether it be a cookout or whatever,
Thanksgiving, doesn't matter.
We're gonna pull the speaker into the living room and we're gonna bump.
Exactly.
But yeah, so and so for sure the podcasting took a big back burner because I was like, you know what, I was kind of focused on, some other stuff. But now, recently
Yeah, we started talking about it.
We started talking about it, and then you had even mentioned, hey, you wanted to do a podcast, right? And so I was like, man, shoot, I've been wanting to do one, and I said, man, let's just do it. Right. Let's jump the gun and do it.
And we're here.
And we're here.
We're here.
Late night conversations.
We're a little bit late. Had some faulty equipment.
Yeah. My first, that kind of sucked. The first set of equipment we got in, one of the mics was faulty. And I was like, man, bro, that should not have happened.
And we didn't want to do it with something that wasn't professional, so.
Yeah, I just didn't want to, I didn't want to put out material that, I want to put material out that's enjoyable to the ear, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and with faulty equipment,
And man, that equipment was bad. It was real staticky. Yeah. One of the mics didn't even work, and I was kind of hurt, man. Yeah. And so, but now, shoot, everything's in.
Everything's in. We're on here right now. Like I said, people, it's our first time being here. It's our first real podcast. Yeah. It's not our first time having conversations, though. Oh, man. I mean, this is something that this is something we do daily almost. Almost every day. Phone calls, even when we're visiting each other, it's just nonstop, man. And it's not like we just sit at the table like some people, just looking at TV. No. TV's on, but...
Yeah, but we're probably talking more likely. We don't do a lot of for those of y'all who I guess let's take this time to introduce ourselves. Right. For the people that know us, y'all know how we are. Right. But for those who don't know, let's get into that little introduction part. Okay. So welcome again to Late Night Conversations. I'm your host, King J or Javi. And then sitting to my left is
I'm JR. I'm the uncle. Pleasure being here, brother. Man. Thank y'all for listening.
Yeah, thank y'all for sure. So a little bit about me. I'm 28.
Youngster.
I'm young, man. I feel old. I'm 28 in a 50-year-old man's body.
But that's what hard work does for you, bro.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm 28. My knees are 62, and my back is probably 74. No, I'm 28, man. I'm a young kid from Plainview, Texas, man. Had a really good childhood, man. I was actually blessed and fortunate enough to grow up with both my parents in the household. There was a time where my parents kind of, went through a little...
who's doesn't?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so they went through a little brief separation, and, I stayed with my mom for... probably about a year or two. Right. And then, kind of like storybook style, things got better and my parents got back together. And ever since then,
still there.
I've had both my parents and I'm blessed. Shout out to my mom, my dad. Yeah. Man, they kind of shaped and molded me.
I love them both.
Yeah, exactly. They shaped and molded me into who I am today. Right. And, had a good childhood, I got two younger brothers. We grew up real close. Right. And we still are. I'm still fortunate to be close to my siblings. Right. And, had a love for music since I was a man.
As far as I can remember, man, just jamming, just dancing, just trying to rap when you didn't even know what rap was.
Yeah, man. I was just listening to it.
Just rhyming stuff.
And then I was a super big Michael Jackson fan when I was a kid.
Dude, who was it?
I love Michael Jackson, man. And so I was always trying to dance like him and, so music has always been a big part of my life and that kind of carried me on through, my teenage years. And, I started rapping when I was 11 is when I did my first official actually wrote something.
Right.
And, shout out to, in my city, there's a guy named Jesse Lopez. Shout out to him, man. He's I always hold him in high regard because he actually gave me my first opportunity as a kid.
Right. That's when you started with that one group. But not with the group.
Yeah, me and Joey G. Yeah,
right. I was up there and perform it.
We caught ourselves the 2911 clique. Like the scripture Jeremiah 2911. Because I was Christian rapping when I was a kid.
Right.
And so, man, he gave me an opportunity. Started doing, that was my first time doing a song actually in the studio setting. Right. And man, ever since then, man, it took off. Okay. And so now, man, I'm 28. I have a beautiful wife. Right. We've been married for 6 years now. Okay. We've been together. Shoot, this October will be 14 years that we've been together. Yeah.
So y'all were babies.
Yeah, we was babies. High school sweethearts.
Adolescents.
High school sweethearts. Yeah. Man, but she's amazing, man. She's
right. I like her.
Really a blessing, man. she's a big part of who I am today too.
Oh, of course.
Kind of helping me because she was with me through all my childish phases.
Right.
Trying to be the man, this and that, thinking I'm cool and, but she's shaped me too.
Yeah, she's still here.
She held it down.
Right.
She held it down for me, and she's always been there. And so, shout out to my wife, man. I love you so much, babe. And then I got 2 beautiful kids, man. A son and a daughter.
Ooh-wee.
And so, and so now, I'm here.
Yeah.
We're kicking off this podcast journey. And so, man, I'm so thankful for anybody who listens to us and strapping for the ride with us, man, because, this is a journey on our lifetime.
Right,
and
right.
we'd love for y'all to be a part of it. So,
Exactly.
Shoot, that's about it for me. What about you?
My name is JR. I'm King J's uncle.
Yep.
Nephew and the Unk,
Yep.
We wouldn't be lying. No, but I'm from Plainview, man, 806. Been here all my life. I've got 4 children of my own. One that was a stepson. So that's 5 kids total. No, I don't sound it. I know I don't look it, but I am 57.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm 57 and still work hard, man.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we were instilled as the Reyes family is hard work. Just like you, I was raised in a 2-parent household my whole life, man, and lived on Vernon Street. That was the place to be. That's what I was told, but we were just kids back then. Devout Christian, go to church, believe in God. Out of my 4 kids, I have 3 daughters and 1 son. My oldest daughter is they're all my pride and joys. Of course, one of them is my oldest is a counselor on the way to start her own business.
Heck yeah, man.
Unfortunately, I lost a child back in 2022,
right?
Which was my second born, and that was heartbreaking.
Oh,
I've got a daughter in Lubbock, Texas. Where? Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas. Home of the Red Raiders.
Yeah, and I also got a 15-year-old son. I have a 25-year-old son that's in El Paso, which that's my stepson. But other than that, man, I mean, hard work, music, football, and football.
Yeah.
No, but I enjoy.
And who do we like?
Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys, baby.
Yeah. 806 is full of Cowboys. I don't care what anybody says. Anyways, no, I also love high school basketball, man.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Like right now, it's football season. I mean, I went to go see the Dogs play this past week, and they're playing at home again this week. As a matter of fact, this weekend, Friday night's their homecoming. Good luck to them. I've always supported Plainview.
For sure.
Basketball, baseball, whatever sport, volleyball. Not so much volleyball. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'll go if somebody invites me. I'll go.
Yeah, you'll go.
But I'm not gonna make the effort myself. Yeah.
You won't just go.
Like the girls' basketball, the boys' basketball, when they start playing, I'll go on my own because I mean it's exciting.
Yeah.
Then we got one of the most outstanding basketball athletes in Texas.
Oh,
right down the street.
Yeah, man.
Won't mention her name, but I'm sure people will know who she is.
Yeah, she's a monster.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her play here in Plainview and see how it goes, man. But I'm excited, Javi. This is something I've been looking forward for, man, for a while.
Yeah.
Since when I first told you, we were like, yeah, we can do this. We're doing it.
Yeah. Man.
It's been a long run getting here, and we're not long distance runners. Y'all know us, we're not long distance runners. We're
you know what I'm saying?
And we're not even sprinters either.
Yeah, we really can't sprint, but that knee will lock up on your boy.
No, but I am glad that we got this started, man, because people don't realize our closeness as uncle and nephew, your mom being my sister.
Right.
Man, our nephews, I don't have nephews from my sister's side. Well, my sister, my brothers all have sons.
Right.
I'm the only one with daughters. And my family, my ex-wives, they've got, nieces or whatever. But And if they knew how much you and I are alike,
right?
The things that we say, the things that we do, it's just. I've never known an uncle and nephew being this tight, and knowledgeable of what we know, of what we talk about.
Yeah, kind of like, I guess, the consensus of the topics that we both enjoy. I mean, we're so similar in the things that we love, like,
right.
As opposed to, true crime stories,
right.
Things of the paranormal,
especially
aliens,
UFOs. Come on, man. I mean,
things like that. We have so many.
We have so.
Which is normal in most things.
Right. But never to the point where we get mad. We're just like, I don't agree with that. Well, I don't either.
Yeah, I don't ever get mad. And plus, I'm like that with everybody, man. To be honest,
we have our own opinions.
Yeah, see, and that's one thing that I realized pretty early on in life, that not everybody thinks the same.
Right.
And that's okay.
See, and see, I mean? Nowadays, young men like yourself are more knowledgeable than we were growing up. Well, there's some things that I'm like, damn, I know about it now. I wish I knew about it then. But I talked to you and you already knew about it.
Yeah.
Not just hearsay. You show me proof of what you talk about.
Yeah,
so I'm like, damn, so I'm not saying as we get older, y'all are getting smarter. Is that y'all are realizing things a lot faster than we did.
Yeah. And I think part of that has to do with us being so connected to the internet presence.
I was going to mention technology. That's what it is, technology.
Yeah, because back then y'all didn't have a lot of the resources we have now, man.
Right.
If you have a question, you can literally, you don't even have to type it in.
Right.
You just say, hey, Google. And then whatever. And then it's going to turn on and you ask it a question and it gives you an answer.
Having to figure things out on our own.
Yeah. Y'all had to crack open the thesaurus. The name alone sounds like a dinosaur. The thesaurus. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just the generational gap.
Yeah.
And I think, I think the big part of it is, like I said, is the, the technology is more advanced. We've had more access to more information. Right. That's really what it is. And it's just more easier access to information, whether it be good or bad.
Right.
Because there's things on the internet that you can.
That's what I was going to say. It's a crapshoot when you get on the internet with your kids. Us adults, we know what we're looking for, even if we find something that we weren't looking for.
Yeah.
But when a kid finds it, and you're not around, because sometimes kids just get on the laptops or whatever, and they know how to scroll.
Yeah. They know how to do stuff.
I'm not saying they know exactly what to type in.
Yeah. No, but they know how to navigate.
Something pops up and they keep checking, and the next thing you know, you got the big P in there.
They know how to navigate.
Exactly.
And that's the thing, that's like with my son, we limit his usage of the internet. Like even YouTube, man. There's so much stuff on YouTube that these kids can see, to where, like, my son is not allowed to get on YouTube, like on his tablet, on the TV.
Okay.
I don't let him get on YouTube, man. He has YouTube Kids.
Right.
And sometimes he'll play videos from there, but, I take pride in my son. He's more of he likes to play with his toys, man.
Yeah, well, I was noticing him just that I was talking to him. I mean, I didn't have action figures growing up.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know what action figures was.
What did y'all have? Lincoln Logs?
Yeah, something like that.
Did y'all? I'm being serious. Y'all had Lincoln Logs?
Man. Lincoln Logs.
Did y'all have Legos when you were a kid?
We had Legos. We had action figures, G.I. Joes and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. How long has G.I. Joe been around?
Man, probably since the 60s, bro. Maybe
dang, I didn't realize that.
To be honest, that old.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure y'all had action figures.
Yeah, we didn't call them action figures. We just called them, let me get my toy, or let me get my Superman. We never called it a doll. Yeah. But, he's walking around like, look, Theo, look at my action figure.
Yeah.
And he knows him by name. We just, G.I. Joe, I don't know if Cobra Joe or whatever his name really was. I don't know. We just, G.I. Joe, Barbie, Ken or whatever, but we didn't play with that. We weren't allowed.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted to. I'm just saying that's the way we were brought up.
Yeah, your dad was kind of more.
We had Tonka trucks and Tonka toys, not no.
Right, y'all had those old school Tonka trucks, right? Them big metal ones.
Metal ones, yeah. Those were the good ones, man.
Not no plastic.
Yeah. That was.
Yeah, man. And see, that's why I think me and you. So I'm a millennial, right?
Right.
You know, I think 96 was the last year,
right,
for millennials. So, we grew up at a time where, I guess we were transitioning into more technology.
Yeah, because you weren't in full $1,000 phone mode yet.
Oh no, not at all,
yeah.
Man. We didn't even have touchscreen phones yet.
Right.
Man, I think back in the 90s. Man, there was still Nokia phones. I mean, that's like the Nokia phone.
Yeah, because I remember when I first got my first phone. I don't remember what year that was.
Man, you know what? That's something I'm going to look up.
Yeah.
When was the first actual cell phone, like, you know, more modernized?
Right.
Because, man, my dad, when I was a kid,
had a bag phone?
My dad had a bag phone, you know, the ones that connected to the truck.
Yeah.
Man, my dad said that his phone used to connect to the truck, and when he'd get a call, his truck would start honking. Beep, beep. Yeah. And see, crazy. You know, when I was a kid, you know, we didn't have iPod.
Right.
iPod wasn't a thing yet.
Right.
Man, when I was a kid, I don't think we had like MP3 players yet. We had CD players, of course.
Like a Walkman type CD player.
Yeah, kind of. So, man, I remember I used to walk around with the CD player in my pocket, you know, the smaller ones with the with the headphones like we got on now. Yeah, with the big headphones.
Yeah.
You know, I used to walk around with that boy. You walk a little too hard, or the CD will skip on you. You know,
or jump.
Yeah, you get a little excited. Yeah, you know. And so, you know, I grew up at a time where there still wasn't technology like that. Like, not everybody owned a home computer.
Home computer, yeah.
You know what I mean? The only time I got on a computer was at school.
Right.
You know, when we would go and learn how to type and stuff.
Right.
And you know, so we didn't have home computers.
Right.
So I feel my generation, you know, growing up like that, where we're transitioning into, you know, not having technology into technology. And I ain't gonna lie,
you're a technology freak.
I feel like our generation was the best. And I know you probably ain't gonna agree with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, the 80s was the better years, dog. But
yeah, see, and you know, but I feel like it was the 90s and the 2000s.
And you should be proud of when you grew up and how you grew up.
Yeah, man, because I think we just experienced a lot of, you know, transition into I mean, literally, we went from not having cell phones to now we have these smartphones that are basically a computer in your pocket.
Right.
I mean, your access to, I mean, just FaceTime. The concept is crazy, man. You could be in another part of the world and I can video call you and, you know, stuff like that. I mean,
and you would see that, you know, in the early cartoons, you know,
or like the movies,
the Jetsons, you know.
My dad, he watched a lot of Star Trek. My dad did, and in Star Trek, we have like the video call on the screen. You know, when it would call, you know,
and that was out in orbit, you know,
out in space, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, growing up in our generation, I'm, you know, like you said, I'm proud of, you know, of where, you know, where I've come from, and, you know, not also being in this generation's, you know, like technology uses, because there's kids now that are literally born and then grow up on tablets, iPads.
Yeah, that's what's going on now. With most of them, I mean, you see it everywhere. You know, you got to be in somebody's house to know that their son or their daughter is a tech kid.
Yeah,
you know, you go to restaurants and that's the first thing you see is cell phones and tablets.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
That pops out and there's not even no conversation.
Yeah,
you know, which that's the bad part, I think. Of this technology is that so much social anxiety because these people don't. I remember when we used to have chat rooms. Never knew who you were talking to, man. Come on, we're not gonna go into chat rooms, but that's what I feel these kids are experiencing with some of these games.
Because
you hear them online cussing and going against
crazy.
Each other.
Yeah, the games, bro, like on the game,
but they don't know each other. But put them in in an environment where they got to sit there and talk and make conversation without a
cell phone,
or a controller or something in their hand. They don't know what to say to us.
And you know what? That is true, man. I will agree on that because, you know, And no, I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I feel like these younger generation of kids, which like I know I'm young,
yeah,
but I mean younger than me, you know.
Right.
This
Yeah.
younger
Well, I'm looking,
generation
right now at these teenage years that these kids are going through so much depression, so much anxiety.
Yeah.
You know,
and you know the big part of a lot of that is, you know, like the social media. I think having access to social media at such a young age is troubling for kids because to me, social media is just, and you know what? It's troubling to adults too because social media can get you depressed.
Oh
man.
yeah. I mean, and that's what I was gonna say is like not so much cell phone, but like I said, social media itself. You know, Facebook. You know, TikTok.
Instagram, Snapchat.
You know,
all
it's so easy, and now you can order food. You can order anything online delivered. So these kids,
you don't have to go out.
They never leave their house. You know, and when they do, you know, I have a son that goes to the mall and he'll like, hey, Dad, can you send me some money for the mall? You know, so I send money. And I'm like, what did y'all do? Nothing, Dad. We just stood there and just walked around, you know. I'm like, you didn't meet nobody up there? He goes, no, me and my friend were just walking around. I'm like, when we went to the malls, we were, you know, in our teenage years, we had a blast. We would call everybody we knew. Hey, meet us at the mall.
Yeah, we're going.
Not that we was gonna go rob the place or nothing like that, but
y'all gotta go kick it, man. You know? Yeah, and that's the thing, you know. It's creating a lot of social anxiety for kids, man, and they're growing up not knowing how to interact with people. And that's the thing, you know. Like me and my wife were talking about. What's really frustrating is when you go to a drive-through or like a McDonald's, whatever. These younger kids that are working at the drive-through, their communication skills, man, are not good. You know what I mean?
None at all.
It's like pull up, you know, hey, how you doing? Your total's so and so.
That's
shut the window on you.
I was there today for lunch.
Here's your food. Shut the window. Like there's no hospitality.
You want your receipt?
Yeah. Do you want a receipt? No. All right. Have a good day. Yeah. Shut the window. Which I get it. I mean, the job sometimes can get to you. Yeah, I mean, you get some people in the drive-thru that are like
amazing human beings that are so friendly and how are you? You know, I haven't seen you come by today this week. You know, some of these. I don't want to say they're adults because you got some that are still teenagers that recognize regular customers.
Right.
You know, and a business is based on regular customers.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know. But a lot of these younger kids, they don't realize how much a smile could do. You know what I mean? Just a simple smile. You know what I mean? Some people have a rough day, and I get it. A lot of people are rude, you know, to you at the window, and I get it, you know. But reciprocating that doesn't do nothing but hurt, you know. And so that's and that's what I'm saying, man. That the technology deal is good. I mean, it's good, you know, that how far we've came. But I also think it does a great deal of, you know, bad to society because I feel like even with the Instagram, the Snapchat, all that, you know, man, my favorite rapper, Kevin Gates, he has a good saying, you know, why he doesn't do social media too much. Because he says that, man, social media is just people highlight reel. It doesn't show their true life.
True life, yeah.
It just shows all the good things that are going on, but it doesn't show when you don't have money to buy groceries or to put gas in your tank.
Yeah, have to struggle to get to work.
Have to struggle, or when you lose a family member, the grieving. Right. You don't post you grieving. I mean, you do post like, you know, that you're sad, or but you know, you don't
post your everyday
day-to-day life
where you don't want to get up.
Yeah, you know, when you're stuck in depression.
You know, I was depressed, but not being able to get up was the hardest part.
Right.
For someone, you know, my age, you know, going back to, we had the best years, you know. We were on our own. So we didn't have anybody to fall back on, you know.
Right.
Especially the Hispanics, you know, we don't put our feelings out like that. And sleeping all day doesn't help, but it helps.
But you don't deal with, you're not.
You got to deal with nothing else.
You're dealing with,
so it's the same as, you know, that are on social media, you know, threatening each other, knowing that they'll never see each other.
Yeah, the keyboard gangsters. Yeah, man, and you know that's the thing. You know, I just feel like we're at a place now where there's good and bad. I mean, there's good and bad in everything, but with the technology deal, I think we're headed in a good direction with the technology. But and that goes to show that like I said, my generation not having the technology
the
as
transition
kids, the transition, I think it played a good role for us because I feel like everything that's coming out, everything that's new, we got to experience it. So we also had the fortunate side of growing up and hanging out with all our cousins, playing outside, hanging out all day,
reading books,
and man, I remember when I was a kid, we would go to Momo's house, over there, and man, we'd be out with the neighborhood kids all playing until the street lights came on.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that.
But then you also had the opportunity to come back home and get on
the PlayStation 1.
PlayStation,
we had like the Nintendo 64 or the PlayStation 1.
Whichever. That was us. I didn't experience that till I was grown man, of cell phones. I did own a Nintendo playing, track and field or whatever. That was my favorite game.
Hey, you had an Atari, right?
Yeah,
Dude, that's the original big Atari machine. And beep, beep, playing Pong.
Yeah. So
yeah, man, and so and that I'm glad that we got to experience both sides. Right, is what I'm saying.
Right.
And so, man, that's good, man. Shoot, I'm glad that we're able to. And that's the thing. What we said earlier. Me and you agree on a lot of things.
A lot of things, man.
And the 90s was the
more
best
things than we don't. We usually have the same opinion. I think, or at least the same.
I think this is going to be a good example of how close we are. This is going to show the listeners, man. This is why we're close as we are.
Right.
Because we're very similar, and I was excited even with the topics like this podcast, late night conversations.
Right.
This is going to be kind of what the bio says of our Facebook page. Of we're an introduction into a podcast that enjoys true crime, paranormal, and things of that nature.
There's not too many things that we really won't discuss.
Yeah, we can discuss anything on this podcast.
On my feed, I've been seeing a lot of animal stuff.
Oh yeah,
animals killing. Eating. Survival type stuff. Animals, lions.
Man, I've been seeing a lot of fighting stuff on my TikTok. It be street fights.
We're not supposed to put anything right now.
Oh yeah, man.
Be able to talk about animals.
Even like today, man, we have some good topics to talk about today.
We do, man.
I know this was a kind of a long intro, but into the mind of who we are. Right. I want the listeners to understand that, this podcast is, between Unk and Nephew, and there's a reason why we're doing this podcast because, man, this is something we do anyway.
Right.
We get together, we talk, I'm like, man, you hear about this? I'm like, no, so you hear about this one? Right. Oh, dang, like,
We'll bring up, so what do you think about this movie, or what do you think about?
Oh yeah, man, we're gonna do a lot of discussion on movies on this podcast. Because
I see a lot of movies, through Netflix, Max, whatever.
Yeah,
but you.
Yeah, me and my dad, man, that's one of the things that we do to try to stay close. So growing up, for those of y'all who don't know me, growing up, a little bit more about me. My dad, look, I'm so grateful for my dad.
Right.
He did a lot for us growing up. I mean, he gave us everything we had. I mean, I'm not saying we're spoiled because growing up, of course, we didn't have a lot of money growing up. You know what I mean? We didn't have the...
None of us did, but we managed.
Right, yeah. Just, you do what you got to do. And that was the true definition of my dad was he's a man who does what he has to do for his family.
Right.
And that's who my dad was. He busted his butt. He worked hard, but with that came he was never home.
Right.
Growing up, my mom did a lot for us.
Right. She was there for you for all your events.
Yeah, for the events. Yeah, not just physically, but she was also the emotional support.
Right.
Because, like you said, Hispanic families, we don't grow up. I feel like Hispanic families don't grow up being raised to be emotional.
Right.
Especially the men. Men. I mean, they're most Mexican families are raised to be, hey, you don't cry. Man, you don't show your man up. Take it on the chin.
Always.
And now we're knowing, that's not always the case. Yeah, it's good to be strong.
Yeah.
But man, sometimes it's okay to cry, man. That's how I teach my son. It's when and why, you know. Right. You don't cry about everything. But man, life beats you down, bro, and that's why there's a lot of suicides in males, man. Because
I've seen a lot of that on my TikTok too. Is what you're talking about? Suicide with males is the highest it's ever been.
Yeah, exactly. Because us as men, we're taught you don't let your emotions out. You don't, and then a lot of men, to me, they won't tell their wife their problems or how they're feeling because they don't want the wife to see them as emasculate. Yeah, or oh man, you're supposed to be the man of the house. Right. But dog, come on, man.
And with the women nowadays, not knocking y'all, I love y'all, believe me.
Yeah, my uncle,
a lot of them, man. Y'all are like too independent.
Oh yeah,
So if a man tries to be good and he's going through some things and try to open up, like you said, you ain't a man or what?
Yeah,
I don't want to say 100% of women are like that.
No, not all girls are like that. But that's just the stereotypical views of a man.
Now,
a
woman wasn't like that, in the 60s and 70s and 80s. The independence of them making more or as much or more as man in the household. Right. That just breaks a man down sometimes. It's just like going back to the manhood, Hispanics not showing their feelings. That's the way Hispanics are bred, regardless.
Yeah, that's just how most. I think it's just that generation, man, of the older generation. Of course, and that's the thing. Of course, you don't want to be labeled as like man, how they used to tell man, stop crying, little girl, But I'm noticing, man, and I'm raising my kids a little different.
Right.
Like, hey, man, it's okay to cry because if not, bro, there's times that literally, because I've been on both sides of it.
Right.
I've grown up sometimes where I bottle things up.
Right.
And don't let it out. But it don't do nothing but destroy you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, like, but all that, going back to what I was saying, is like, when my dad, he was always working.
Right.
Man, and he's missed birthdays. He's missed Christmas.
Yeah, because of jobs. Yeah.
Because of jobs. And like I said, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I'm very grateful for my dad.
Right.
But, he missed out a lot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, to me, I feel like I missed out on a lot of opportunities to really get close to my pops.
Right.
And so now that I'm an adult, with my own kids, I'm using this time, like going to the movies we go every Monday.
Every Monday.
Yeah, we go to the movies every Monday. And I'm using that time to reclaim some of that lost time that I didn't get with my dad as a kid. I'm using some of that time to, man, now me and my dad are close, man.
Right, and I noticed that because, when I talk to him, because your dad's always been a little reserved.
Oh, yeah. My dad was part of that. I'm telling you, it's y'all, dog. It's y'all. Y'all generation, boy. Yeah,
yeah, like him, he doesn't express emotion.
Nah.
At least not to the family.
You
and him, as being as close as it is now, maybe it's different for y'all.
Yeah.
But
man, I've seen my dad cry 2 times.
Right.
2 times. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never seen my dad cry.
Right.
But like you said, it's part of that, the generation. And, but now I'm reclaiming that lost time, and I encourage everybody.
Right.
Make some time for your family because, we went through a loss.
Right.
Where you lost your daughter, my cousin. Man, that was detrimental.
Man, that
did damage. That
was the hardest. Yeah, it damaged the whole family.
It damaged the whole family.
The whole family.
Beyond anything that we think could have, you can't even imagine the kind of pain.
Anything else in life can happen that's worse than this.
And see, that's the thing. You feel like when bad things happen, you're like, damn, man, but sometimes things in life happen that you couldn't even fathom happening.
Yeah. Like
that. Everybody in this world knows you're going to die one day.
One day.
So,
we all know that.
But there comes a time when someone passes and you're like, golly, like that hurt, dog. Like you said, going through depression, I feel like we all went through form of depression when she passed.
I think we all lost time, like the rest of the year in 2022.
Yeah. I don't think anything hit the same. The holidays went the same.
We had holidays and everything, but like you said, it
it tore us up on the inside, bro. I don't remember
the Christmas after her death.
Yeah, it just everything was a blur.
Yeah,
especially for you and my mom, because my mom was super close. Super close, man. I mean, they talked like the same relationship that me and you have is the same relationship that Kim and my mom had.
Exactly.
And they talk every day on the phone.
Aunt and niece, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, or it was Aunt and niece, and just like Unk Nephew.
Yeah.
I mean, the connection we have is the connection they had. And, when that was severed, my mom took it. I mean,
and I think she's still struggling.
I think to this day she still has issues. And
I know that's probably part of the things that she goes through that. Because I talk to your mom all the time, and she's always like, boo, 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 whatever. And I try to be a little strict with her, but
yeah, it's just hard. Yeah. But it's hard, man. It's hard to tell somebody how to bounce back from adversity, especially if everybody's challenge is different. You know what I mean?
And nephew, I'm gonna tell you something that I read. I'm not sure where I read it. Grief is a stone. It's a rock that you carry in your pocket. When grief strikes you, that rock is in your pocket and it is weighing you down.
Right.
It's weighing you down. But as life goes on, you get used to having that rock in your pocket.
Right.
So it's not as heavy. So I think your mom's still at a point where the rock's still pretty heavy,
Yeah, man, and it's just that relationship thing, man. I mean, they were so close, and and all that really affected her. It affected the whole family,
right?
And so that's why I say to anybody who has family, I know it's hard, man. Make it a point to spend time with your family because, like, especially with my dad, man. I mean, we are all here on borrowed time,
right?
So we got to make the most of it. That's why I'm so big on, like with my job, I only work 3 days a week. You know what I'm saying? And I know like you.
And on your last day on Monday, you're excited to get out of work, go to the movies, boy, with your dad,
And then, with me only working 3 days, my brother, he always makes fun of me. Because, like, right now we're doing mandatory overtime. So we have to come in an extra day.
Right.
And it pisses me off, bro. Let me tell you, dog. It pisses me off.
You're a 3-day man. That's it. Fuck the 4 days.
Everybody's like, why you get so mad when you got to go in for overtime? Get that money. Yeah, but, man, I enjoy spending time with my family, bro.
Of course.
Legitly like being at the house.
Right.
Not that I'm lazy. I just like being with my kids, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I said I'm going to break that cycle, man. Because my dad, well, his upbringing was a little rough too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I won't speak on his upbringing because there's things that I still don't know. But I know from what, me and him have talked about, he had a rough childhood.
Yeah. I imagine he did.
And it's kind of molded him to be how he is. And, I ain't saying he's bad. He just, he's just a little bit, like you said, more reserved.
Yeah.
And so, and he's real big on hard work. And, he don't, he's always said, man, sometimes you got to miss a Christmas. Sometimes you got to miss a birthday. But me, nah, I don't. That's one philosophy I didn't keep, bro.
Right.
I got to be there for my kids' birthdays, events, sporting events, man. I'm going to make sure to be there because, man, you don't understand as a kid how much that affects you when
Daddy ain't home.
Daddy ain't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like Austin Powers, that Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair. But it's true though.
It's true, especially on birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, man.
Even Halloween. Dad may not be the type to go walk you. He may be the one to hand out candy or whatever. And boom, times are changing. But anyways,
yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, it affects you as a kid. You want to see your dad there. And so that's why I'm rebuilding that. I mean, it was never shaky with my dad. We've butted heads. Yeah. I mean, I think all sons and dads bump heads with it.
I've been into it my pop before,
Yeah.
But it don't last long.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you forgive and forget. And
at least in my family, in our family, that's how we are.
Yeah, and kind of me and you are a representation of our whole family, man.
Pretty much.
I mean, we're all the same, man. We're real tight.
Yeah.
We've always had a tight knit. group of us. And, we have a group chat where we be sending memes to each other all day, just be laughing and, joking. And that's, and that's who we are as
the ones
family.
that laugh is you and me. Because my other parts of my family, our family members be like, why'd you send that? Never mind. If you got to ask man, you didn't get it.
Yeah, you ain't even get it.
That's dumb. To you, but I thought it was hilarious when I sent it.
Yeah, but, and so that's, that's a good representation of our family, man. That's kind of who we are, man. And that's what all this podcast is going to be about, is we're bringing that personality to this podcast. And I think it's going to be good, man, especially with, like you said, we're very close in topics, so this was a good opportunity for us to, talk about what we love.
Which is what's true crime.
Yeah, true crime is a big part of who we are. But also, like I said, there's so many topics we want to dive into, man. Like today, I got a good story for you.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to come up, say like, what did he say it was? I don't know. It's a crime story or it's not?
So it's not a true crime, or it's an interesting missing persons case that was solved right away. Well, not right away, but 2 days in.
So it was solved as in they know what happened, or are we talking?
Yeah.
We are talking about what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I can't bring it out, but you read my mind.
Yeah. So it was a missing persons case. The person was found. So here's the good thing. Unlike every other story we're probably going to tell, this has a good ending, kind of. Like, it's a good ending. Like they found him. Okay. And he was fine.
So we've already established it's a he. So I know it's a he.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it.
You got my mind look like. I know so much. I've read it or seen a lot of videos or podcasts, on crime or missing persons.
Yeah, because you
trying to think. Who's he talking about?
I don't think you know who this is, dog.
2 days?
Check this out, man. Okay, so story I got for today's podcast is the strange disappearance of Ryker Webb.
Ryker Webb.
He was a 3-year-old little boy. Sorry, he was 3 years old.
That's little.
Yeah, he's 3 years old.
To be missing?
Yeah, from Montana. So check this out. I'll lay it out for you.
Okay.
Little boy, 3 years old from Montana. His name is Ryker Webb.
Okay.
He's outside with his dad, playing with the dog.
I don't recognize the name, so I don't think I've ever heard of this story.
Yeah. It's a good one, bro. So he's outside playing with his dad. They're playing ball, playing with the dog. So momentarily, the dad had to step in the house and get something. So the dad briefly steps inside the house. When he comes out, Ryker's gone. He can't find him.
And so this is Montana, like.
This is the rural. This is rural. Yeah, this is rural Montana.
So it's not the city.
Yeah, no, it's not city. This is rural. It's out in the country. So he steps inside just for a moment. Then he comes out, notices Ryker's gone. So he kind of goes around the house. He looks around, checks around the back. He's not seeing him, man. And one big thing about this case is, or that the parents said, was Ryker Webb was real interested in bugs. Yeah, he liked to collect bugs and stuff like that.
Saw something flying or something.
Right, so that's, and so he had noticed, a little trail of rocks, that were overturned and maybe looking for some bugs and stuff. Right. And so, here's where it gets a little crazy. So he's gone, he's looking around the house. He can't find them. Checks with a couple neighbors. They don't know. Here's the only strange thing. They didn't report him missing for, I think, like 2 hours, man.
That was my next question right now is, how long before he reported this to authorities?
Yeah, they waited about 2 hours to report it, which I thought was kind of strange.
Was there anything
no, nothing was ever brought out about the time. They said they were going to investigate it, and this was recent, bro. This happened June of 2022. This was just 2 years ago. So
right before Kim's passing.
Yeah, this is fresh. So he went missing, and of course the dad's frantic,
Right.
He's looking for his child, and so eventually you get a hold of the police. They file the report. And at first, they gather up a massive search party, man. The town really showed out, man. A lot of people came.
So what time was this when they started?
They started. Man, this was early in the morning when he was playing. So around afternoon time.
Morning, so
yeah. No, so they started immediately.
Okay.
A massive search party went on. There was people nearby who had ATVs that took out to the woods. I mean, they drove around, helped out. There was even a couple neighbors with some drones. They had got some drones, and they flew them out over the woods. I mean, they're doing, man. It was a good.
So they did everything they could.
Yeah, it was
that moment.
Yeah, it was a good massive search, man.
Right.
I mean, the only thing that sucked was they got halted because the weather got real bad. So on day one.
So this was in June. So we're looking like thunderstorms.
Yeah, it's kind of like around that storm season. Yeah, it's kind of around that storm season. So they're having the massive search party, and like I said, I brought up earlier, they felt like they had a good lead because they saw some rocks overturned.
Right.
Kind of in a line, like if somebody was walking and flipping rocks over.
Okay.
So they felt like they were on the right track, and then the search party also had dogs, so they were they had the dogs sniffing, and they were covering some ground, but man, the weather got real bad.
Okay.
So they had to stop. And so day 2, the search picked back up.
Okay.
So they start going. They're searching, they're still looking. Well, right around that same time that search party is going on, they actually had a couple about 2.5 miles away from where he went missing.
Okay.
There was a log cabin. It was like a log shed.
Okay, so
it was a shed. There was a house
shed.
with a log shed in the back, like a wooden shed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so this couple was actually checking in on that house. I don't know if they didn't live there.
Were they with the group?
No. This was separate.
Oh,
yeah. This was just a family coming to check in on the house that they owned out there in the woods. Out there in Montana.
Right.
Lincoln County was right where it was at. And so they had just happened to come by and check in on their house.
Right.
I don't know if it was an Airbnb or if it was just a vacation home, but they were just there checking in. And I guess while they were outside, they heard like a child's voice, and they're like, "What the hell?"
A crying voice,
yeah, kind of like a child crying out, or talking, and they're like, "What the hell?" And so they hear it coming from the shed. So they go over there, they check it out, they open the door. When they open the door, they see a little boy inside of a lawnmower bag, like of clippings.
Right.
He's awake. I mean, he's alive. He's awake. He looks scared. He's very shaken. He's hungry. He's thirsty. But other than that, he's fine. There's no bruising.
Was it the same little boy or? Yeah.
Okay. So let me circle back. So at that same time, they found a little boy in their lawnmower. Of course, I mean they called the authorities.
Okay.
And it so happened to be that the authorities said, "Well, there's a search party for a little boy right now. Stay where you're at. We're going to bring the search party that way, and let's bring the parents and let's make sure, So sure enough, parents show up. The little boy, it's their kid. He had been missing.
So it was all good.
And so, okay, but check this out. There's a viral picture of this little boy. And the reason why I wanted to bring this case up is because, man, the picture, and I showed you, let me show you a picture, man. I'm going to show you a picture of this little boy. You're going to trip out on it, man. So, that's the little boy that went missing, right?
Okay, little blonde boy.
Yeah, cute little, he's 3-year-old, man. Got the whole world ahead of him. All right, check this out, man. This is when they found him.
Look at him.
I mean, it don't even look like him, right?
No, it doesn't.
Man, bro, okay, so... Man, if you are listening on the podcast, I know this is audio only. We're going to be having video podcasts really soon. We just wanted to get the first episode out. That way we can, we got our camera equipment coming in. So next time, we'll be having to post pictures and you'll see. But yeah, man, if y'all see this little boy, there's a before and after, man. He's a cute little kid, man. I mean, he's just big old smile. And when you see him, he looks like he just has seen 1,000 years of death.
Dude,
I mean, his eyes are just sunken in. I mean, and I get it. I mean, he was gone for 2 days. He may have lost a little weight because he hadn't ate. He hadn't really drank anything. But gosh, man, I mean, the way he looks, is just insane, man. I mean, his eyes are sunken in. I mean,
so
his eyes are so wide.
You can go on the web and look for
you just type in Ryker Webb before and after pictures.
Because that picture's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he saw something that shook him to his core. You know what I mean?
At 3 years old, it wouldn't take much, but
I mean,
what was it? So did they ever?
So, they recovered him. You know, he was fine. He was actually healthy, man. He was in good. He was scared. He was very scared, of course, like any 3-year-old would be.
Right. I mean,
but he was hungry. He was thirsty. But other than that, he was healthy. There was nothing wrong with him. He wasn't bruised. He wasn't hurt. And all that, man. The reason why I bring this case up is so interesting to me because, man, he was 3 years old. And he went missing for 2 days in the Montana, in the woods, man.
Like a forest type.
And they found him 2.5 miles away from his house. 3 years old, you telling me he walked 2 miles?
2 miles. I walked on his own last week, and that's a different story. But yeah, I understand. That's far.
2 miles
for
a 3-year-old in the forest, in the woods. And check this out.
I lived in North Carolina where there was lots of woods, and there was bears. I've seen bears. I've seen squirrels, possums.
Hey, barrels and squirrels in the same sentence is insane.
Did I say barrels?
No, you said bears and squirrels. Yeah. I said I'd be scared of the bear. I see a squirrel. I ain't that scared of a squirrel.
We're talking about a 3-year-old right here, So if Montana woods or anything like the North Carolina woods?
that was the big thing about the search party. There was members of it that said this area that they found them in, and kind of like the path that you can take to get from here to there. Man, the woods
is. There was a path, or there was no path?
Well, no, it's just. I mean, like that.
The general, path that he took, or what?
Well, the general area between each other, from where he went missing,
the 2.5 miles.
Just that area alone in the woods. They said is known to have bears, mountain lions, and.
So we're looking at a miracle here that he survived 2 days.
Oh yeah, but the thing is.
But what gets me is that picture.
Yeah, the picture. That's the big thing. Is that. He looks like he saw something. And, there's a lot of theories online, man. Of course, it's a good thing he made it home.
Right.
It's a good thing he's home now. I mean, he's safe. Nothing happened to him. And it's a good thing it wasn't like a case of where they found his body somewhere or like he was killed. He was fine. But the theories behind it are crazy.
So what are they saying?
Man, there's a different theories. I'm
trying to think. I mean, this guy's 3 years old, so... If an animal didn't scare him, an animal would have probably killed him and ate him. That's what I'm thinking.
He's so little, man. I mean, it's just, and then to think that he made it 2 days. And here's the kicker, man. Here's the other thing that's crazy, man. With it being the weather they experienced, and how bad it was storming. The visibility was so bad from the rain, they had to literally stop the search because they couldn't see. And this 3-year-old boy made it that far. And then also, think about this. He's 3 years old. He didn't have no water, no food for 2 days straight. And on top of that, the weather at night was dropping into the 40s.
Oh, so
that's how cold it was, man. Yeah, man. And so, like, there's
now you got my mind thinking. I'm like, but go on with the theories because
how did he get there?
Yeah, how did he survive? How did he walk 2.5 miles without?
Especially at night, man.
Yeah.
I mean, how long do you think it took him to walk these 3 miles? I mean, obviously it was 2 days when they found him, where he was at. But I mean, what did he see at night? I mean, you're in the woods all alone as a 3-year-old dude. I couldn't imagine. My son was 5. How did he even
find that house or that shed?
Exactly.
If he put himself in there.
And got into a lawnmower bag?
Conspiracy, I don't know. Maybe somebody put him in there?
Well, see, that's what I'm saying, man. There's some theories, man. There's some theories that maybe he wandered off into the forest and somebody found him and took him somewhere to... Some people are saying, what if somebody took him and maybe had a guilty conscience or something and left him in a maybe they were going to do something to him and they left him there, maybe they felt bad but there are some theories, of course, man, from the paranormal side.
Let's go.
Because they asked him, what did you see or what did you hear? And he just said that he took a really long walk and got really tired. And saw a house and got inside because he was cold.
But did he say he walked by himself?
Well, that's the thing. That's all he said was that he took a long walk. So
his vocabulary was small since he was 3 years old.
Yeah, of course. He just said he took a long walk and he got tired. But I mean, there's some theories of. One of them is crazy. Somebody was like, man, he probably saw a skinwalker. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the skinwalker guided him to, whatever, to a house to keep him safe from other animals.
But skinwalkers
you know what I'm saying?
Are supposed to be, are skinwalkers deadly?
Man, I mean, I don't know. I ain't never seen one.
I've never seen one either, but I mean, I've heard stories, but I mean.
I mean, there is also some people that say, I mean, if you believe in God, man, God must have took care of him, walked him to that cabin
for a purpose,
where he knew he was going to be found. You know what I mean? Or even, I mean, I don't know, man. It's so strange that a 2-year-old little boy, or a 3-year-old little boy
can get that far.
That got that far away from home in 2 days with 40-degree weather at night. Animals in the woods, no food, no water for 2 days, and survive
without being. I mean, what I see, he seems like he's healthy, except that last scary.
Picture. I think it's just all this. It boils down to that picture, man. When you see that picture of how he looks, I mean, he's scared and he's been gone for 2 days from his parents. I'm sure he's terribly afraid.
So is that a look of shock? You think?
I mean, it just.
So could that be another reason?
Like he saw something in the woods,
and people are saying that he had to have seen something to look like that.
Dog.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, that I'm looking at it, seeing this picture, I'm like, was that terror or was that shock?
Man, it looks like complete fear and shock. And see, I'm telling you, when you see that picture, it just looks like he saw something that he shouldn't have, or. I mean,
well, he's 3 years
old.
And
think about this, man.
Shouldn't have.
I mean, we don't know truly what's in the forest, man.
At nighttime, especially.
At night. I mean, of course, animals and stuff, but like me, man, you know me. I'm a big believer in the supernatural, and you know what I mean. And just to think, like, have you ever heard of the Appalachian Mountains?
Yeah.
Have you heard the lore about the Appalachian Mountains? Now, there's a TikTok videos that I be seeing on my feed.
Is that the one with the giants?
Well, there's one about the giants,
Okay.
But no, they said that there's like that. I guess a lot of skinwalker stories come from the Appalachian Mountains, but they said that there's something up there. If you go on the TikTok and type in Appalachian Mountains and not to go out at night, man, there's people up there that make videos that say there are rules when you live in the Appalachian Mountains that you do not go out by yourself at night. Once nighttime hits, you lock your doors and you don't go out. And if you
refresh my memory on where the Appalachian Mountains are at.
Well, that's
I'd have to Google that because
Google it, man. Shoot, Google it. I mean, there's videos on TikTok showing, they'll be like, look, whatever you do, don't go to the mountains. Like, you don't go outside at night. If you hear somebody call your name outside, don't go outside. There's a lore around that, man.
Yeah.
That there's creatures up there, in the mountains where people go missing and, man, there's no trace of their body ever found. And so, what could he have saw in the forest, man, that shocked him like that?
Well, now I'm going to have to, what's that word I'm looking for? Now that I'm looking at the picture, that I see it more, I see shock. I don't know if it's. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theories, like you said.
Yeah, there is, because there's also a conspiracy theory that he's not the same little boy.
Well, I mean,
because they're saying that there's some reports, and I don't know if they're true or not, but some reports are saying that he wasn't even dressed in the same clothes he went missing in. Like when they found him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Somebody obviously took care of him.
But who? And why wouldn't they take him to the authorities, or, you know what I mean?
Well, like you said, maybe he had a guilty conscience and said, you know what, I can't kill him.
But see, and that's the thing, it's just it's crazy to think of, what he could have went through. And of course, with him being so small, you're not going to know. He's not going to recount what happened to him. He's not going to have his memory is not advanced enough, to retell what he had been through.
Right.
It's just to be missing for that long, for 2 days as a 3-year-old boy.
And to survive. Without having
no food or water, man.
No food, water, no injuries, no marks that we could say, well, he was beaten or.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see nothing on the picture.
Like that theory about him being cloned is crazy because, there's a story of, they're like, man, that little boy that went missing isn't the same little boy that came back, man. Like he was cloned and they sent back a different boy. Like he wasn't the same kid, Dude,
my belt's too tight, dude.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Anyways, that's just insane. I just don't understand. But yeah, I looked it up. The Appalachian Mountains are in eastern United States and Canada.
Yep.
And it extends from Newfoundland to Alabama. So
yeah, it's that. So it's way up. It's a big mountain range,
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. I mean,
being that big.
What could be out there? You don't know. That's the biggest thing. You don't know what's out there.
I'm like the sea. Not all the sea has been.
Oh yeah.
Mapped, so you
okay.
They're always finding different species of fish or stuff in the ocean.
Like think about this, huh?
But the mountains. How many mountains are out there that you can't like the Appalachians? You can't walk the whole deal without.
Well, yeah, of course.
There's things out there that we probably have never even seen.
Oh, yeah. Like, all right, like this. You believe in Bigfoot?
I do. To be honest, I do. It was big in the 80s.
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
But like all the way back to like the Patterson film.
Yeah.
From back, when was that? In the 70s? The Patterson film.
71, maybe? 72?
I'm going to look that up. Now you got me.
Googling stuff.
Watch this.
It's talking about Sasquatch.
Patterson film was in 1967.
67.
Have you ever heard about it? The Patterson Gimlin film?
No. I thought it was...
It's the most... Okay, like Bigfoot hunters, it's their best evidence for Bigfoot existing. The film that was filmed back in 67.
Right. That's the one that's real...
Check this out. Right now I'm showing him this video, man. He's got to see it. The Patterson Gimlin film, man. It's like one of the most famous evidences of Bigfoot ever.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen before.
Yeah.
I've seen this one plenty of times. That's why I do believe in the Sasquatch. I mean, he may not be 12 foot tall.
I mean, it's just another species. What could it be? Another species of human?
Well,
but
I don't want to say human-like maybe. But
I mean, yeah.
If there was a species, nephew, you see more of them. You're not gonna hide a whole family of these. But going back to like the Appalachians is so big that you can't be at all of it at one time. So if that species is that smart to hide, come on, man. How much smarter can we get?
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. And it's just like there's, like you said, like the sea, or we haven't explored every area of the earth. Man, the earth is too big.
Too big.
There's too much. Man, what is out there? Really, what could be out there? Just like with the alien thing. Man, me and you, I'm big on aliens, bro. Like we go to, we take a trip every year to Rio Dosa,
right.
And we stop in Roswell.
Right.
And man, I love going to the alien museums and, stuff like that.
The last pic that you posted, one of the last that you were over there, was alien on the gurney.
Yes.
What was all that stuff around? Was that his guts or what?
No, man. No, it was just like on his stomach and stuff.
Well, they had him laying down and they had like that wax doctor or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, so all that. So apparently, when that alien crash landed in Roswell, right. They're saying that there was bodies recovered,
right,
from the spaceship that crashed, and so that was kind of a depiction of like what it looked like when they took him to examine.
See, that's what I was trying to figure out. What was it? Body parts just broken up In pieces or what?
No, he was intact. He was intact.
Yeah, I should have saved that pic because I was.
No, he was intact. It's just that his skin looked all bubbly and wrinkly.
Okay.
Yeah, like his skin looked like.
Do they have parts of the aluminum foil that they found out there?
Man, so they didn't have any like actual parts. I heard that there is a museum that has like they're claiming pieces of the spaceship and stuff like that.
That would be top secret.
Like,
and that would be for people.
Dude, I've seen documentaries on that thing, and dude, I honestly believe something has to be out there, man.
Oh, most
because
definitely.
there's so much
evidence of things.
I mean, think about it, man. You've ever seen a video of how big the universe is?
Not really.
Oh my gosh!
Your dad's an astronomy.
Into astronomy.
Astronomy, man.
Yeah,
big time.
Me too.
So, but I'm not.
Man, there's a video on TikTok. If you look it up, man, it shows where we are in the galaxy. And then it zooms out and zooms out. Bro, there's billions and billions of galaxies out there. I mean,
it's so big.
Yeah. I mean, there's like the James Webb telescope.
Right.
There's a picture that it snapped, and it's crazy, man. In that picture is a lot of galaxies, and it just looks like a bunch of stars.
Right.
But if you zoom in, each bright light is a galaxy, and each galaxy has millions of stars in itself in that one galaxy.
So it's just
you're looking at infinite amount of worlds.
If God can put us on Earth in this little, what else has He not done?
I mean, come on, man. There's got to be something else out there. We can't be the only beings alive.
He may want to keep us only beings for Him, but He's got others, I'm sure.
Oh man, He's got to. I mean, you got to think, man. I mean, the world is too big, and that's what I'm saying. All this to tie back to like, he saw something, man. Yeah. He saw something that day that rocked him. To even as a kid,
I see that too, nephew. But I'll just keep replaying in my head just now, just what you showed me. Just keep. It looks like he's in severe shock, which also could be fear,
right?
Of what he saw, or it has to be what he's seen. I mean, it's not what he did, So
it's hard to say.
It is. I'm trying to think right now. What could be the worst thing I could see that would scare me to look like that? I mean, this guy looks like you said, he's staring into. I mean,
yeah, his eyes. I mean, they're so wide, and he's just. Yeah. I mean, he
like
just.
There's no pupil, no nothing. It's just.
Yeah, and when you see the
blank
before,
the blank stare.
Yeah, he's got that.
And the before, he's a bright kid, laughing.
Yeah, chubby cheeks and all that, and now his face is sunken in. I mean, his hair looks a little matted up. Yeah. I mean, he looks like he's been through something.
I don't know what I could see that would scare me to that level. I'm not saying there's nothing out there that'll scare me to that level.
Oh man, I'm sure. There's stuff out there.
Let's go into this quick pic that I'm just in my head. Go ahead, nephew, because I lost it.
No, you good.
Predator. Here we go, Predator.
Oh, Predator.
Remember that movie Predator, right?
Yeah.
The big Indian, and the other guy goes and says, the Indian says, "I'm scared," and his other partner from the army like, "It's bullshit. You ain't scared of nothing. You ain't scared of no man." He said, "What's out there is not a man."
Yeah, for real.
Movie quotes like that just,
that's true though, man. Shoot, I mean,
and maybe that's what happened to him.
Maybe he saw something
that is not of.
Kids are innocent, man. Something rocked him to his core.
One of the things that I hate, I watch a lot of TikToks, as we all do, where little kids are scared by their parents or their brothers with the Halloween masks. Little kids, 1-year-old, 2-year-olds. I think that's probably too cruel because, I mean, maybe something scared this little boy, something as easy as a Halloween mask, but
man,
it scared him yeah.
Man, there couldn't have been nobody there, man.
No, what I'm saying is he saw something, something as simple as a mask that scared him to death. Not saying that. Of course, I wasn't there. Don't know. I don't have a conspiracy on that at all. I just think that he saw something. Because it's either shock or tremendous, tremendous fear. And if it's tremendous fear, I feel for his whole life unless he gets counseling as he gets older.
Yeah, I wonder how much that's going to affect him with him being so young. I wonder if as he gets older, will he forget about all the, of course, that whole experience. I mean, he was so young, man, at such a young age. I feel like he'll forget, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, the look of shock on his face alone.
If he doesn't know what scared him, he may not ever know. Or when he grows up, he may be like, that's what I saw. That scared me. But he's no longer afraid of it. Right.
Man, yeah, it's crazy. Man, I got another story for you, man. I got another story. All right, let's take a quick pee break.
All right.
And we're back.
All right. Here we go.
All right, man. So, for my last story for today's podcast, man, it's called The Man from Taured.
Taured.
It's not even something that you can name because it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Check this out, man.
Okay, I'm still trying to think Taured.
Check this out.
All right.
So, on a hot day in July 1954, a man arrived at, I don't know how I'm going to butcher this name, Haneda Airport in Tokyo.
Okay.
So he landed in an airport. It's July 1954. This man arrives in an airport in Tokyo. Kind of Caucasian man, bearded, wearing a suit. He spoke French. He also knew a fair amount of Japanese.
Okay.
He knew some Japanese. Nothing out of ordinary till he handed over his passport. The passport was legit. I mean, but it had an oddity, man. It was something weird about it. It was issued in the country of Taured. I mean, as far as the immigration officers knew, Taured was not a country that existed anywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I never heard of Taured.
Yeah, they didn't either. So they confronted the man about it. Like, hey, man, Taured, where's Taured? I mean, Taured doesn't exist. So he kind of got mad, like kind of confused.
Right.
What do you mean? This is where I'm from. I'm from Taured. And he kind of got frustrated, man, because they kept telling him, look, Taured doesn't exist. Like, that's not a real country. Like, where did you get this passport stamped at?
Right.
He starts getting frustrated, man. He said Taured does exist. I mean, he said it existed for over about 1,000 years now. That country existed. So they kind of started getting weird about the guy. Like, he's lying about something.
They got weird vibes?
Yeah, they got weird vibes. And they were like, man, this man's lying, man. So, okay, so what they did was they detained him. They said, look, before you go anywhere else, we need to do some more research. So they took the man, they put him in a hotel for the night nearby, as they conducted some more investigation. I glossed over an important point. So while they were doing that arguing about the man from Taured, the man from Taured was arguing with them like, man, it does exist. They pulled out a world map, set it down on the table, and they said, can you please show us where Taured is on this map? So he looks at the map, kind of perplexed, like,
where's that map from?
He's like, what is this? He's like, this map, none of these countries are right. And so he points on the map where Taured should be.
Uh-huh.
And it's a modern day country. He's like,
right.
That's Taured. He's like, but it's not called whatever right. He called, whatever it was. Wherever he pointed, he's like, that's where Taured is. And so, it was strange.
Right.
So they put him up in a nearby hotel so they can do some more investigating. They made him leave his bag with them at the immigration office. He had to leave his bag. He left his luggage. He left his passport. They put him up in the hotel for the night. And they stationed 2 guards outside his hotel room.
Okay.
And so just they don't want to make sure he escaped because they're thinking, man, he may be a criminal.
Right. They don't know whatever. They have no clue who this man is.
Yeah. So the next morning comes around. The officers go to speak with the man. When they opened the door, he was gone.
Through a window.
No. There was no way he could have jumped out the window. I don't even know if there was a window in the hotel room.
Right.
But
so this is Japan though, right?
Yeah, it's in Japan.
Okay.
The guards went into his room and he was vanished. Nowhere to be seen. And the two guards are like, how? We've been out here all night. Right. There's no way. So apparently he was shocked without a trace. So with him being gone, so was all his stuff at the immigration office. It just disappeared. Without a trace. Yeah. So, I mean, this is the story.
Or what?
So check this out. To some, the story of the man from Taured could be evidence that he was I wouldn't say time traveler, but an interdimensional traveler. This could be evidence of an interdimensional traveler, which could mean, man, there could be other dimensions of our world, parallel universes.
Yeah, that's
maybe he accidentally merged into our timeline, into our dimension, and that's why he was
the whole plane.
At what point we don't know. He could have merged into our universe,
or maybe a time travel from the future.
Well, but the thing is he was modernized from, as far as they could tell. Yeah. He was a normal man. He was.
This is the 50s, so I mean.
Yeah, it was in the 50s, man. I mean, there wasn't much of knowledge of anything else. I mean, at that time, as opposed to like interdimensional.
So has anybody looked into it since then?
Well, no, because I guess there's not a lot of documentation other than what's there.
Other than what's there.
And then there's no evidence of him.
There's no evidence of anything.
Yeah, and his passports, all of his stuff is vanished. So
this story, they still proclaim is true.
Well, there's theories that, of course, this story is just an old.
Not a wise tale, but
like a folk tale. Yeah, something. Some say that it was there's a similarity between this tale and of a con man who was in the 50s in Tokyo who was using fake passports. So they're thinking that maybe the two stories got confused, but there is some people that truly believe that this could be evidence for interdimensional travel. Because, I mean, think about it. Back to what we were saying about how big the universe is. I mean, man, could you, like the movie Interstellar, what? Okay, let me instead of rambling on about that, let me say, like parallel universes or
portals,
things like that.
We have a portal. Is there portals? Do you believe in portals?
Man, so so here's the funny thing, man. I don't want to say I believe in that there's other dimensions, but man, parallel universes pique my interest, bro. Because think about it, man. Like, you've heard of the Mandela effect, right?
Yeah. Like the Bernstein Bears, okay?
Yeah, the Bernstein Bears.
I used to have a book, I think, or was it you that had the book?
I had books when I was a kid.
I don't know if I...
How do you remember the spelling,
Right.
Or like, here's one to blow your mind, dog. You ready for this? You know the Monopoly Man, right?
Right.
Do you remember how he looked?
I don't remember, dude.
Little business suit, maybe a top hat.
Oh yeah, like he's jumping, or
little business, like a businessman with a suit. He's got a top hat, mustache with the curl. Yeah. Does he have a monocle over his eye?
He does have a monocle.
No, he doesn't.
But he did.
He never did. He never had a monocle on his eye.
So
that's crazy, right? He never had a monocle, dog. Somebody's got
to have an original with.
I mean, if you look it up, man, he never had one. But that's what I'm saying, man. Parallel universes, man. Could they exist? Man, how do we know? Like the biggest one, of course, like the Shaq movie. Okay, maybe because you were born on the 80s.
What was
Shazam or Kazam? Kazam.
It was
they said Sinbad.
It was Sinbad.
No, it
was Sinbad.
It wasn't.
Dude, I remember it was Sinbad.
It was not Sinbad, and it was Shaq who played in a movie called Kazam.
Dude, I didn't even know Shaq. I wasn't even a big basketball enthusiast back in them days.
Yeah.
But I knew who Sinbad was.
Yeah, man. It was not Sinbad, dog. He
That's
never played that role.
That's insane.
They came out with a joke about it like a year or two ago.
I heard it, but I still say it was a joke,
Sinbad. Bro. It wasn't. He never played it. But everybody remembers him playing a genie. He never did, but they remember it.
Yeah.
Dog. That's why they're saying at some point we could have shifted into a parallel universe. Some people say it was in 2012 when the Mayan calendar ended.
But then I also heard the Mayan calendar was wrong.
Yeah?
I mean, it's not saying it was wrong.
Well, there is talk about it being off.
But then there's the 13 months.
Yeah, because time was a little bit different back then. But then they probably thought that was so far in the future that civilization possibly couldn't live that far.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? And that's another thing, man. Like the Mayans, they disappeared, bro, without a trace.
Where they at? There's not even that. The only evidence is what?
The pyramids that they left over. But I mean, it's just
skeletals. Where they at?
Yeah, man. I mean, there's nothing.
Were they taken back to their home?
Just like the colony of Roanoke.
Dude, that is so crazy.
You've heard of that one, right?
Dude.
The colony of Roanoke.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, man.
I didn't know nothing about that until I watched that movie, Stephen King's movie.
Oh, yeah. See, man, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's why they're saying this is probably some of the best evidence of interdimensional travel. Because they're saying that...
Well, see, and I'm not up to date in that kind of technology because I'm thinking, I see some sci-fi movies or whatever.
Yeah. They're saying that there's portals that you can cross over into other dimensions. Like, especially
just
with
walk the through?
Yeah, you just... I mean, I don't know.
Look at this man in 54. He was on the plane. Where did he get on the plane and when did he get to the plane?
Yeah, exactly.
Did he walk onto the plane or the portal he crossed the portal and just stopped?
Maybe in his dimension, he was on a plane going in the same direction as the other one and they just happened to cross over.
That's what I'm saying. And he just stopped right there. Everybody else just kept moving.
Yeah, maybe he just...
The portal was just where he sat.
I don't know. I mean, think about it, man. They're like, what about the Malaysian flight?
That's the one that...
That's the one that disappeared.
Disappeared and then never found.
To this day, they haven't found.
Right? I mean,
bro, how many people went missing on that plane? And they just went missing?
And people aren't... I don't remember them making a big deal over there. That was 100 and something people missing. That should have been a big deal.
Well, it was on the news every day.
But not like,
I've been watching videos on it now, and
Can you tell me what anybody looks like on that plane? Have you seen a picture of him?
Mm-mm.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember ever seeing pictures of anybody else on that flight. Yeah, so was that flight in the air? Or did that flight never happen?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The flight happened.
Well, they say it happened.
It's on. They even have the black box recording. You know what I mean? From the plane. Because,
technology, they also can do anything. But
they also have the, it was on radar. You know what I mean? Like, it was, I believe it.
You ever watch the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I get that. I get that. Nah, dog, it happened, though.
And I'm not trying to...
I know it happened. Because
I just think, I'm not saying it didn't happen either. I kind of believe it, but I don't know what anybody looks like in that.
And then
there was Americans in that flight.
Was there?
I think there was 5 Americans in that flight, if I remember correctly. I may or may not be right now. It can't be quoted on it.
Man, it was crazy. I mean, there was a big search for that, dog. I mean, it was a big search, and just to not find nothing.
Not to find nothing in the ocean.
That's crazy.
But that's the same. That's
why they're saying with the interdimensional. I mean, could they have went through a portal on accident, and now they are in a whole nother, Is
there another Bermuda Triangle out there then? Because that's what I think a Bermuda Triangle is. I mean, if people can come and go as they want, and then some disappear. If you think you can make it, why don't you go down and check underneath if there's ships down there or airplanes. You know,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you know.
So it's to me, it's a portal that just because you can fly through there. Just some people don't fly all the way through.
Yeah.
And how long has it been since the last missing flight or from the Bermuda Triangle?
Man, it's been a while.
Been a long many years.
But that's what they say. You know, it could be a portal, or could it be a portal opening up into another dimension? Maybe they flew into another Earth, or you know,
maybe more portals are opening up now because of all the new technology, new airways that's out there.
You know, some people say they also think that maybe the world ended in 2012 with the Hadron Collider that they built. You know, have you seen that machine they built, man?
I think I have.
That smashes particles together, and like they were able to replicate like a black hole for like a couple seconds.
Right, I do read that.
Dog, you know, if they were to recreate a black hole, you know how detrimental that would be, dog.
Detrimental? How dangerous? Yeah.
Man, the world would get swallowed
That's
up.
what I'm saying.
Like T.D. Jakes
you said
swallowed up. You want to get swallowed up?
Man. That would be insane because where would we go?
But that's what they're saying, that maybe the world ended when maybe they did create a particle beam. A particle beam. Maybe they did create something that ended the world, and maybe we're in another dimension, or that's why things are different from what, you know, we're known them as.
A lot of things changed, dog. I don't say after 2012. It's just in time. Because pretty much, other than the civil rights movement, I've seen everything else.
Yeah.
You know, I was around when supposedly, I don't want to say supposedly because I'm an American.
Oh, 9/11?
No, we went to the moon.
Oh, we went to the moon, though.
You know what I'm saying? I've been there from then. But before that, you know, Kennedy I wasn't around, but so I've seen pretty much everything except for the civil rights movements, you know, where
that's a good theory in itself, man. The JFK assassination.
To JFK, Martin Luther King.
Man, I'm telling you, man. There's a lot. There's a lot to cover, man.
That's what I was gonna say. We got so much that we can talk about. That we have to put our mindset to it, our 2 cents, maybe. You know, because not, you know, everybody's talking about Martin Luther King, but we haven't.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there's things that's why it's good that we're doing this podcast, man, because there's things that people don't know just because they don't know to look it up. Or, you know, me and you dive into that YouTube realm or wherever, where I'm fascinated by the unknown, the strange and the mysterious, man.
And see, with you working 3 days and spending a lot of time with your family, you still also have time to do a lot more research than I do. I got time too. I just sleep a lot. You know, I put in my 8 hours worth of work every day and get home tired. And sometimes I take a nap and it doesn't end up being a nap. It ends up being sleeping till the next morning before I go to work, you know?
Yeah. And so we work Monday through Friday.
Right.
So it's a little different because, like me, I'm fortunate to, like, I'm off Tuesday through Friday. So it's like I'm at home, man. And I'm you know, I do my researching and stuff. And I like to look into things like that. And the strange, the mysterious, the dark things, you know. I'm into that kind of stuff, man, because there's things that we don't know. Literally, we just don't know, man, that we're just,
you know, I've been trying to keep up with the ice in Greenland or Iceland, where is it, where there's trees and, you know, it's like a forest.
Oh, that's Iceland.
Iceland, you know, where the ice wall.
Oh, Antarctica, there you go.
Yeah. Antarctica, the ice wall. You know, I believe the government's hiding stuff.
Dog,
please hold on. Please don't come after me, government. You know, because I don't know. I just think I believe that there's stuff out there that they hide from us.
They have to, man. There's no way that we know everything. All right, so let me ask you this: you believe in the flat Earth?
Dude, I was hoping
you know
never ask me that.
Nah, I'm gonna ask you, dog. Cause I want to know. I'm bump. This is where we gonna bump heads. I believe
it's round, but then I also believe in
You believe in the firmament?
Kind of do, man.
Oh man, see.
I kind of do.
Man, that's why we need to go back to school. No, man. I mean, I get it, man. I mean, like a lot of people say the Bible says that God put a firmament, but I don't know. Me personally, I believe He meant the atmosphere. That's what I think. I think He meant the atmosphere.
Well, I mean, He did. I mean,
that's what the firmament meant.
But going back to not us being the only race out there, the only aliens out there, is He protecting us with that bubble from other aliens? From the ones that can do us harm. I'm not saying that the ones that hit Roswell or whatever can't do us harm. Apparently not, because they did. But
I mean, but I believe that aliens are already here, bro.
But they
could be. I know that you say, man, hey, I ain't gonna lie. I be at Roswell walking around the city. Sometimes I look at somebody, I'm like, hey, that's an alien in human form. You know what I mean? Like, because some people just be
like his
weird.
ear gonna come off and it can be a little man in there.
Yeah, like his chin will just open up, and there'll be like an alien sitting on a little chair.
What's that movie again?
Men in Black.
Men in Black. Dude.
Yeah, man.
Wouldn't that be crazy if the government was involved in something like that? Look, I heard this before and it makes a lot of sense. There's nothing in this world that hasn't already been made. There's not a song that has not been written.
Yeah.
If we can think it, we can do it. Men in Black is a crazy, crazy movie, dog.
But how did they get the idea for that?
That's what I'm saying.
Like it just popped in your head, or did something like that actually exist, and that's why they're, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Somebody accidentally leak it and say, this is how it is, and then they're like, you know what? We'll make this into a movie.
I mean,
to conspiracize it or theorize it or people's minds and say like, tell me now you tell me what your mind thinks, because
sometimes
if you don't use your mind, it's a waste,
And sometimes hiding the truth
in plain sight
is the best way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, who's better than that than the government?
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I believe that, man, there's something else out there. And man, I'm excited, man, because with this podcast, we're gonna be able to break that down, man, and get into the different topics of, because man, there's so much more, man. If we shared all the stuff that we know,
this is just a tip.
Yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah, man. We got so much more that we're gonna talk about, and we'll have a 10-hour podcast if we
just kept talking. We can do this all night. All the stuff.
But shoot, to summarize all that, man, do you have anything for us?
Actually, today I've got some stuff that I've been working on from the 806 area. Started looking into some of the crimes. Plainview has well, I don't want to say Plainview, but the 806 area is kind of crazy right now. People aren't from the 806. We have a lot of crime.
Yeah. Probably more than most people think. You know what I mean?
I know now how much crime we have. Growing up here, in the 70s, wasn't a whole lot of crime that I knew of, but then I wasn't paying attention. Now that I'm grown and I see and hear things, and know people, I'm like, man, there's so much that happens here. Going back all the way to the 60s and 70s here in Hale County, there's been approximately about 7 unsolved murders.
Oh, wow. 7?
7.
Unsolved.
In the 806. Not so much in Plainview itself. There's some from
but just like the area.
Yeah, the area of the 806. I'm not going to go into detail right now. I've been trying to get a hold of a detective. I've talked to a couple of people, and there's not too many things they can say on some of these open cases. Even though they're cold cases, they're still open.
Yeah, they're open. Yeah, you can't really speak on them.
I mean, I can speak on what I've looked into, which is public information.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm also going to try to talk to the Crime Stoppers here in Plainview, so we can start posting. I don't want to post something without their knowledge. So I'm gonna save that for another day, so I can do more research and see if anything has the last of the newspaper recordings from this losing train my thought system. 2003 was the last time the Herald, the Plainview paper, posted on these murders, and we're looking at 20 years.
Yeah, so, about 20 years, man.
21 years. So I'm gonna see if there's any other breakthroughs. I know Lubbock has had a few breakthroughs. With the DNA.
Right.
What I do want to talk about, and I'm not going to mention names right now. Amarillo last week solved a 46-year-old case.
Wow. Dang, 46.
46-year-old. The 46 from 1976.
Dang.
It was a murder. Yeah. I have a link that I may end up putting in our email or in the bottom of our TikTok or whatever. As soon as I can talk to the survivor of that murder, because I know her personally. So she was 5 months old.
Wow.
She was 5 months old when her mother was murdered. And
dang,
it took him this long to find the murderer. Unfortunately, I will tell you this. Unfortunately, he did pass a few years back. Right. So
okay.
I haven't talked to her since a couple of months, and so I don't think she has full closure. But at least she knows now who killed her.
Yeah, I feel like that's a form of closure, though.
Yeah, it's a form, but it's not.
I mean, yeah, of course. I mean, she was stripped from her mother,
right?
Like
him being free for these 40-some-odd years,
Yeah, I mean,
still,
that's still
do what he wanted.
Yeah, but in a sense, though, she at least knows.
Yeah, and I'm hoping we got to put her on the show.
Oh yeah, man! If we can get her on, that'd be awesome.
Once she tells me that she was in the interview with the Amarillo police on Wednesday. She was there and some of her family members, and I don't think she's ready to do anything. And because I had to talk to her about being on the podcast or to reaching out to a certain podcaster to put her story out there, but I keep pushing her on because I have her on Instagram, and I want her to write a book. I guarantee it's a bestseller. Because her story has everything, anxiety, depression. How would you feel one day if you have found a copy of, let's say, your birth certificate, and you found out that you weren't Mexican, but you were actually white?
Dang, that'd be crazy. Yeah, that'd be wild, man.
You'd be like, hold on.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
My whole life don't make sense. So who are my real parents?
Right.
So, but we got to get her on here, man. We got to get her on. As soon as I can get her in, I also have another female friend, her and her husband. She's got a story to tell. Actually, it's her life story. Awesome. She's young. She's barely, not even 40, I don't think. And earlier you were talking about growing up in your family with your mama and your dad both being there, not being rich but not being poor neither. And but this chick grew up like, imagine one day your mom takes you to your grandma's house and says, "Stay here, I'll be back," and never returns.
Dang.
I mean, you hear about stuff like that. It's never happened to my family. We know our family is not like that.
Yeah.
But when she was talking to me that one night and she was telling me her story, I'm like, she goes, I had a rough life. She goes, I was a mom for my siblings, and she's got kids. I mean, I told her too. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a kind-hearted or vulnerable.
Well,
maybe I'm
we're
vulnerable to somebody who has a sad story.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, we're real big people. Like people
lovers.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we love people,
and
man.
Us growing up didn't experience a lot of trauma or traumatic experiences. Besides you getting busted with the belt from time to time, you know.
All the time.
But
I was bad.
I didn't have. Our first biggest tragedy in our family was my nephew Ray, your cousin Ray. But I'm not sure it was before your mom or your grandma or after. Before your grandma passed away, right?
Oh, my grandma?
Yeah.
From my dad's side?
From your dad's side.
Yeah, that was
and that was
before.
A big tragic thing that
yeah.
I think that
you had lost your mom
too.
In 2008.
Yeah, but we kind of knew. Because
because she had
diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, so
you know,
I mean, of course, it doesn't make it easier, but you're more prepared. You know it's gonna happen.
You know, my nephew was
it was a car accident. Yeah,
car accident. That blows your mind. And my daughter, you know, but like her, she's had so much trauma in her life. We don't know what it was to go without food. We did because we were too busy playing, but not to be able to come home to food.
Yeah,
you know. When you have to survive for, you know, when you're 7 years old, you got to feed your 4-year-old brother because your mama ain't home. You know, her story is pretty rough, man. And she turned out pretty cool. She's a cool chick.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah, man.
They're good people, man. But
shoot,
I do want to go back into more stories myself. I think you did a great job today, man, on the stories you chose.
Yeah, I have even crazier stories. Man, I have some crazy stuff I want to tell you, Unk. And but I thought I'd start off with a couple light stories,
right.
One was, a little lighthearted. I mean, it wasn't a tragedy. I mean, of course, it was terrible that he went missing.
It's traumatic.
Yeah, it was a traumatic experience.
Right.
But at least the ending turned out he went back with his parents.
So he's still good.
Yeah. And then I did have an interdimensional traveler story I wanted to tell. But man, I got some stories to tell, man.
Okay.
And then, I got some true crime stories, man. I got some really interesting stories. Like our next episode, man, I think I'll start breaking down a couple crazy true crime stories that I don't know if you've ever heard of before, man.
Okay.
So I think...
And I think that comes back from you and I listening to different podcasts or different... I'm a Dateline person.
Yeah.
I'm a Daylight person.
Yeah, you watch the news. Most people your age watch the news.
Right. I'm up at 5. I ain't got to be at work till 7. I'm watching news at 5 in the morning.
If I got to be at work at 5, I'm waking up at 4:30.
Right.
I need every bit of sleep I can get.
I think that's where it comes from. There's some stories out there that I've never heard.
Yeah.
Through some of the guys that you turned me on to
on
the
man.
podcast. I'm like,
yeah.
And that's the thing about me. We're not monotone people. My voice is not monotone, period. And I'm not just here all day doing this. No, I got a full-time job. When I'm here talking to you, that's the way I am.
Eventually we'll make this our full-time job.
I sure hope so.
That's what the goal is.
Let's go.
Man, I'm tired of making other people rich, man. That's why I'm glad we started this podcast where we did.
What I want is to make people happy.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get rich off of this. That's not the goal. My goal is to do what I love.
Right.
And, make a living off of it, man. Yeah. That's kind of what I want, man.
Why wouldn't you?
You know? And that's kind of where, like you said, you work every day. You don't have the time. I do have the time during the week,
But you also got
I also got my kids, and then I got, I still, man. I mean, I'm buying my own house.
Right.
So, I have to bust my butt there.
Right.
But eventually to get to a point where you are in control of your fully.
Right.
I don't have to answer to nobody. That's kind of the goal.
And that's key right there is I'm 57, and I've always worked, so I've always worked for somebody. You know, I've owned a couple of businesses that didn't make it, but that's
all part of the learning experience.
I've always learned from it. Right now, I got a decent job, and I like it. You know,
yeah, for sure.
I work Monday through Friday. I'm off. Get to go to football games, baseball, whatever's out there. You know, visit you and my babies. You know, I come all the time. Now I'll be here even more.
Yeah.
But you know that Sundays that's the only setback that I have right now is you working on Sundays that we can't watch football together.
Yeah,
unless
man,
it's Sunday night.
That sucks. And it's crazy because, man, you know I'm a big time Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
You know, I love football.
Right.
But, man, now that I've been working weekends for like 3 years now, man, going on 4, man, football isn't man, I'm starting to get to the point where, not that I don't like football, but like I don't mind missing.
I know where you're going with this.
I listen to the game at work. Right. Trust and believe.
See, and I know what you're going through, because when I was doing when I was cooking all the time, well, when you're a chef, you work Sundays.
Yeah.
So I had to give up football.
Yeah. And it's not so much that you just don't like it no more. It's just that your importance isn't as big on it.
So I didn't have as much knowledge of the players at the time I was working in the
because I used to be fantasy league, all that stuff, and then now I don't even.
Yeah, because you don't have time for it.
Yeah,
you know? That's the thing with me. I didn't have time for it then when I was in the food industry. Now that I'm off on Sundays. Every Sunday, it's church and football. You know what I'm saying? And now I know stats. I know, players.
Yeah.
Because I keep up with them.
Exactly.
You know? Especially the Cowboys, and I'm not even gonna knock no teams today, dog. It's too late for that already. Let's just say it was not a good week
for the NFC.
For the NFC.
Yeah.
for no NFL team. Well, I don't say no NFL team, but for the ones that were supposed to shine, did not shine.
It was a rough weekend for us, yeah.
For us, especially for us.
Man, we got demolished. I don't want to talk about it, dog. I'm going to go home.
No, but I enjoyed this, man.
Now, this is good, man.
You did good with your stories. I was prepared today, but we've gone a little bit long, and
this is kind of longer than what I thought.
Right, I got to get to bed. I got to go to work in the morning. But I do have a lot of research on on some of these people.
Heck yeah! Well, I'll tell you what, man. Next episode that we do, I'll let you kick it off with your, for our listeners out there. If you stuck with us this long, man, thank y'all so much, man.
We do appreciate it.
We appreciate it. I know there was some here and there. We've had a little bit of, where we get on topic, off topic, but that's what it's all about, man. Me and my uncle. We're prone to jumping around, but man, with this being our first episode, it's gonna be a little bit more of a learning experience for us this episode. But as we continue, man, it's only
most definitely. I'm having a little troubles with this mic over here.
I was like, the hell are you doing?
I think what it is we just need a different table.
Nah, don't be blaming my table.
Okay.
Nah, just
know it's a small table.
Hey, the whole mic came off.
So I'm just gonna hold it for right now. And
anyways, that was funny as hell, man. But man, you know what? Like I said, I know we went a little bit long today, but man, if y'all stuck around, thank y'all. We really appreciate it, man. And,
most definitely.
Man, y'all stick with us, man. We're gonna be bringing exclusive. Great content, man. We're going to be bringing great content.
Once it hits all the platforms, please subscribe.
Yes.
The more you subscribe, the better it is for us to be able to give you more and more content. An hour and a half long, hour. You can also just email us. We're going to put our...
we'll put our email in the links. And then we'll have our Facebook page up and running. And we'll post a video for it. And especially like even on our YouTube, we'll have a YouTube video, and in the description, we'll put our link to our podcast and then to where you can get our stuff. And man, y'all stick with us, man. This is gonna be a exciting thing.
It's gonna be fun. What is our Facebook?
So our Facebook page is Late Night Conversations with Unk Nephew.
Unk Nephew.
And that's the same for our YouTube channel.
Right.
Late Night Conversations with Unk Nephew.
Right. And it's going to be a wild ride. Today was kind of a learning experience for us.
Yeah. And it's only going to get better.
Like right now, I'm holding a freaking mic in my hand instead of letting it
on the arm.
So
hey, but it's like I said, it's all a part of it. We're learning, and we're so glad that y'all have joined this ride with us. And we pray, that y'all stick with us, man. And we're gonna be giving y'all exclusive content, great content. Probably story. And then, pretty soon we'll be having guests.
Right.
We'll be able to do interviews. And,
I've got more than those two in mind. I got one that's probably going to rock your world that you're probably going to be like, yeah, we got to get him on.
Hell yeah.
I won't bring it out right now because I got to talk to him first. If he says no, well, then what's the reason to bring his name out? But I'm excited, man.
I'm excited.
Thank y'all
too,
so much for hanging in there with us. Hopefully next week will not be as long. But will be just as entertaining as it was tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be even better, man. We got some good stories, so man, I think we're at a good point, man. We've been here for a while, so I guess we can close out, man. Right. Well, Unk, it was fun.
Nephew, it was great. It was good seeing you tonight with the babies. It was fun, man.
Oh yeah, man! I can't wait to do this again next week. So
when I leave here, I'm going to go outside and look at the moon because it's supposed to be the brightest it's been.
Oh, yeah. It's a super blood moon tonight.
Right. So,
yeah, man. So, shoot. We're going to go out there and enjoy that.
I enjoyed it, man.
And I think I'm going to go eat another plate of pizza and wings. I ain't going to lie. I know it's late, but I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'm hungry, too. I'm going home to sleep because
you got to work in the morning. I don't. So, I'm finna chill.
But thank y'all very much for staying on as long as y'all have. Peace out. Much love. Always much love from Unk and Nephew.
Always, man. And thank y'all. And thank you for joining the Late Night Family.
Late Night Family. Have a good night, y'all.
Till next week.